Hey guys, it's me Jake from JakeMan21642, and today, in kind of a surprising video, I would like to show you guys the newest addition to my fleet that I just picked up. This is a 1990 Volvo 240DL, and before this video even starts, I would like to say, because I've already gotten this question a million times, any of you who are friends with me on Facebook or follow me on Instagram will have seen this car already, but the Accord and the Beetle, I both still have them, and neither of them are going anywhere. I wouldn't have bought this car otherwise. But, like I said, this is the newest addition to my fleet. I love it. I know I'm already going to get people criticizing it. I do not care. This is something I've always wanted to own, and I could not be more excited. So outside you can see it's finished off in this gold exterior. This car was a one-owner local trade-in at the dealership I work at. Literally, I know it's the oldest used car thing ever said, but this was literally a old lady car. Traded in on a 2013 S60. It's been serviced at the dealership its entire life. And it's a work in progress, but I've already got a pretty good basis starting out here. So like I said, it's finished off in a gold exterior. It looks beige in a lot of the pictures I've taken of it, but I finally got the chance to detail it and really go through it yesterday. And so as you can see, the paint really is gold. It does have kind of a metallic shine to it, which is starting to come back. And on the driver's side door and basically every panel of the car, and I don't know how well it will show on video, but this car is scratched to all hell. You people who run your cars through car washes and go, ha ha, I'm destroying my paint, this is actually what you're doing. You can just tell it was run through car washes with brushes, never really waxed or anything like that. And over time, it kind of took its toll. I'll include pictures in this video. It looked way worse before yesterday, but I got out, I buffed, I polished it the best I could. The buffer I ended up buying from Walmart was a piece of junk, of course, and the buffing compound I bought didn't even really work well with it. So I ended up using New Finish, which is a product I've always used and sworn by, and it turned out pretty good, but there definitely will be more work on that. Outside, though, you can see, everything on it's in great shape. There's no visible rust on the body. There's no rust up underneath. It's been a clean Virginia car its entire life. And outside too, it does have all of the chrome trim around here, and you also have your black trim underneath and on the bumpers, which I used some Back to Black Restore kit, which really did a little bit, but I think some of these are just so faded they kind of soaked it up and could use a second coat, especially on the driver's side. Antenna right here, of course, and probably the worst of the paint is on the roof. As I'm sure you can see, yesterday evened it out a little bit, and you can see the front actually has a little bit of shine to it, but I'll take dealing with this over rust any day, in all honesty. I was actually talking to one of my coworkers this morning about either just painting it black or painting a Swedish flag on the roof, so something will happen there. Once again, too, with the weather stripping around the door, I'll replace that very easy. Also, a little bit of fading and cracking on this black trim, which I plan on just covering with Plasti-Dip. Pinstripe, in excellent shape though. Black mirrors, once again, I put some stuff on those. And up front, it does have plastic headlights. The later ones with B-square headlights, they were plastic. I'll probably get new lenses eventually, but I did clean them up yesterday, and they came out well for considering they are the original ones. Volvo grille, this grille honestly looks like it's been replaced. This logo looks brand new. And the front plate right there. I do plan on switching this car to antique plates once I get the title, and maybe leave the front plate on. I don't know, depending on how hard it is to get the bracket off. The car does have a rejection sticker right now, but I plan on in the next week or two getting all the problems fixed and getting it inspected. It basically needed up front either ball joints or control arms, I can't remember exactly, and then there's a bit of an exhaust leak, which is probably getting fixed in the next couple of days. Otherwise, though, this car runs, drives, everything about it is perfect. I'd say I've actually probably already put a couple 100 miles on it. I've just been driving it around all week, and it has not skipped a beat at all. This was just one of those things that rolled into work and got traded in, and I jumped on it because I could not let this go. On the passenger side, fuel cap right there. Even one of my favorite parts is you do have this little kind of drip tray down below. when you pull the gas nozzle out, the gas won't drip on the paint. It'll just catch it right in there. It does recommend 91 octane, it says in the owner's manual. So I did put premium in it for the second tank of gas, and I can say I did notice a big difference in the way it runs. Back here too, probably one of the most satisfying parts of this car. Taking the key, 90 style, unlocking the trunk, which I still haven't even remembered which way it is, and popping it up right there. We'll get back to that in a minute. Step in this one and get out of this wind. And just stepping in, I mean, the first thing you notice, just that the doors make. I love that solid, that just amazing sound, and also too, the doors on this vehicle. You just can't even compare that to anything out there today. Inside, this one does have the beige cloth interior, which honestly I don't mind. I really have nothing against cloth interiors. I've actually kind of missed cloth seats. They're comfortable, they're cushy, you don't slide around on them. And I haven't even touched the interior yet. This is literally the condition I bought it in. Start it up, you can hear that exhaust leak, first thing I'm gonna say. But otherwise, it starts up and runs perfect. The exhaust leak is literally right here underneath of the car. Backfires and does all that fun stuff. Inside, finally out of the wind. I mean, everything in here is typical 240. This is a 1990 model, so it has pretty much the last interior, the most updated one. It does have an airbag. You have this wonderful 4-spoke steering wheel, and actually very nice and tight power steering, but this thing is a boat going down the road. It is so much fun. Just one hand on the wheel. It's an automatic, so it's nice and easy to drive. Horn right here too, I love the horn. On the door though, up top, it's all old car interior, so it's padded vinyl in great shape. You do have your manual mirrors around here, which is perfectly fine with me. One less thing to break. Power windows down below, surprisingly they all work. That one won't go up from the switch, but it goes up from the driver's side door panel. So easy project one weekend to replace that. Padded armrest, of course. You do have your handle right here and the door handle right here. It is missing the little plastic trim piece around it, like that, but the trim piece just broke. It's in the glove box. Very common on these. I'll probably just find another one at the junkyard. Storage down below. Another compartment right here, which every one of these I see, the compartment is ripped off, so I'm probably not even going to keep anything in here just because it is such a fragile piece. Same goes for the speaker grills. I've actually never seen one of these in person that has the speaker grills intact. Around here, air vents on this side. You do have your headlight controls, rear fog lights up there, which I believe the rear fog lights were an option because they all have this switch, but mine actually in the place where rear fog lights would be is just blank. Right here, gauge dimmer, and then of course the dash. Now, I will say right now, you can see right here, this one says it has 33,000 miles. It does not. Just like every other one of these 240s, the gauge cluster has been replaced. I don't know the exact mileage, but it's around 160,000 based on the repair orders and all the things that I could pull up on the car through our system at work. In the middle, this one does have the original factory tape deck, and it does work.
What do you do?
It works, and that's about it. FM radio, I tried the tape player with one of those tape adapters, and it didn't do much. In all honesty, I'm not removing this tape deck because I love the way it looks, and it's original. It stayed here for this long, I'm leaving it. Same goes for the speakers. I don't want to tear these out of the doors and damage the covers or end up having to remove them. And on all honesty, I'm not daily driving this car. If I want to listen to music, I can get my Accord. And I don't want to run a ton of stereo equipment off the alternator in this car anyway. I ended up buying, you can even see the little tape strips right here for it. I ended up buying a Bluetooth speaker, just stuck it down right there. I believe it's a JBL Charge 3. Sounds just as good as anything I'm ever going to get in this car. And anyway, too, I do have Bluetooth now, so I can answer and talk on the phone through that speaker. Dashboard, though, is in great shape. It's not cracked like a lot of these are. This vent, once again, another easy thing I'll get from the junkyard to replace it. Then you do have your defrost up there. Down below, storage. I mean, you get these little chrome strips on the dash, which look great. Storage compartment right here is actually pretty useful because it's rubberized, so things don't just slide around and fall out. You have a cigarette lighter, which does work. And then right here, you can see your little fader for the radio. It's weird how this is separate from the radio, but basically it will just fade it to whatever side you want it on. Defrost right here, which at first I thought was broken, because when you turn it on, it just stays on, but actually that's how it's designed. It'll just stay on for, I believe, 10 minutes and then cut off. Hazard controls, and then this one is equipped with air conditioning, and it works perfect. It's a little chilly today, so obviously no way to really test it, but I did have this car for a couple days where it was 70, 75 degrees, drove it to work with the air conditioning on, and it was perfect. Your seatbelt reminder for the passenger right there. Climate controls down below, choose between hot and cold, and then where you want it, right there. Very simple. And recirc right there. Fan speed all the way on the edge. And these are cool too. They're all vacuum operated. You can actually hear when you press it. It's like a lot of older Fords. When you press it, you actually hear it go ashtray below all of that, which is funny because it won't even come out unless the car is in drive. Storage compartment down below there. This is where you see a lot of people put aftermarket radios. I actually like having the storage compartment there. It's usually where like my phone and my glasses and stuff like that end up. Right here, this one is equipped with the 4-speed automatic, and I know I'm the biggest manual snob in the world, but I can already tell I'm going to be getting comments from people going, "Oh, that's ruined, that you shouldn't have gotten a classic 240 with an automatic transmission, you lazy fat American." I can hear it now. Both of my other cars are manual. I honestly do not care that this car is an automatic. I feel like it would actually lose a little bit of its old, boaty, almost 70s feeling car charm with a manual transmission, but it's nice to have it, especially because this will be like my around town car. Just short drives where I don't really want to take the Accord, keep that as a nice highway commuter, so not complaining at all. It is a 4-speed automatic or 3-speed with overdrive. Turn the overdrive on and off from right there, which the overdrive on these is a common thing. I don't know the exact problem, but it's some kind of wiring issue they have. Has been repaired on this one. Low gear. And I love around here just all the touches, like the carpet, which carries up around the center console. Down here, as you can see, this one does have heated seats. Not just heated seats, heated cloth seats. One of my favorite things in the world. Once again, why I'm so happy it has cloth. So I love that. I've had this one on all morning, took it to Cars and Coffee. Nice and toasty at 8 in the morning. Storage back here, and no center armrest. You can get them optional for these. I'll probably end up picking one up or trying to find a junkyard car with one, because that's a little broken, and I'd be lying if I said it wasn't my fault. I'm so used to having a car with an armrest. I went to grab something that fell on the floor down there, put my arm on here, and just the pressure cracked the old plastic. But I believe you can get a replacement piece of this on Amazon for like 40 bucks, so if I don't find one in a junkyard, I'll just end up doing that. Parking brake, which is hilarious. It is 5 clicks all the way from the bottom to, it's not that it's even poorly adjusted, just the top of the travel, right there. Seats in this vehicle are amazingly comfortable. I would almost say these are more comfortable than my Accord. They actually hold you in pretty well. They've got a nice bit of bolstering. They're springy and they're so plush, and it's a high quality cloth. You just kind of sink down in and it molds around you. These headrests too, I've always wondered until I finally drove a 240 what these were like. Once again, they're weird but comfortable. Sorry about the little break there, I had to take a phone call. But anyway, seats inside of this vehicle, I believe that's what I was talking about. Insanely plush, insanely comfortable. I absolutely love them. I've seen people swap different seats into this vehicle. Definitely not something I plan on doing. You can see right now that I've started the car back up, it's actually doing a very common thing these do, where the blower motor is still running on a very low speed, even though it's off. So it does all the typical 240 things, and I love it. Up here, manually dimming review mirror, visors. They don't have mirrors, but you have these little pockets, except the one on the driver's side is a little ripped up, so that's another junkyard part I'm going to have to look for, and it needs a new hook right there, which these, I've already ordered one for $4 on Amazon. That's another thing that amazed me about this vehicle is I was expecting it to be like every other European vehicle where parts are obscenely expensive, and it's actually the opposite. Parts are very easy to find and very cheap. I ordered a Bosch cap and rotor for the vehicle, and then I got NGK plugs and plug wires, 60 bucks for all of them shipped from Rock Auto. Inside of here does include my tape adapter. That didn't come with the vehicle, but it even came with a spare pack of ceramic fuses, because despite being a 1990, this vehicle still uses ceramic fuses. And it has, believe it or not, for as thin as this wallet is, this will show you how simple cars used to be, children. Came with all of the owner's literature right there. There is the maintenance chart. There is a letter that was sent out in 1994 as a recall notice. There's some more paperwork, and then there's the warranty information, and then the maintenance records, which this one of the maintenance records have been filled out, stamped, signed, everything like that. There's even a page inside of here for if the, actually there's multiple pages dedicated to if the odometer has been replaced, because that was such a common problem on these cars. And I don't really want to show the original owner's information, but you can see this was sold at the dealership I work at on 4/25/1990. Throw that back in the glove box. Glove box is illuminated, and like most glove boxes, you have the little drink holder or whatever right there, and a little pop-up mirror on the passenger side, which amazingly is not broken. We'll step out of this one. It does have power locks. To lock them, you push down the driver's side and then press it again, and they will all lock. And then when you cut the car off and pull it up, they all will unlock. Like I said, the car has to be off for all of the power locks to work. Also go ahead and pop the hood. Now, like I said, you can hear that exhaust leak. That's getting fixed probably in the next couple of days. I've got a friend that's going to help me with it. Inside of the back seat, everything up top on the door is padded material like up front, cloth, and you have your power windows, which do work. Speakers down below, which the back speaker grills in these vehicles are always the first ones to go. This one's intact. And it's even padded vinyl down here and some metal trim. Now, stepping in, I was not expecting this, but this car has an amazingly comfortable back seat. I'm 6'2", the seat's all the way back where I sit. Plenty of room. I mean, my legs will touch the vinyl, but if it moved up an inch, it would be perfectly fine. But it's a comfortable back seat, it's plush, it's the same nice seats as up front, and you just sink down into it. This would be just an awesome throw all your shit in the car and go down to the beach for the weekend, take 4 people very comfortably. In the middle, armrest right here, which is typical 90s car. It's a massive pillow. Back there, do have a little pass-through to the trunk. Unlike my Accord with its horrible one-piece folding back seat, this back seat just doesn't fold at all. But you have handles up top. This vehicle does not have a sunroof. It's actually the first car I've owned other than the Beetle, which is obviously a convertible that doesn't have a sunroof. I'm not complaining though, because anything that's old with a sunroof is going to leak. So that's actually probably a pretty good thing that it doesn't have it. And once again, you can hear just the sound of these doors when you close them. Inside of the trunk, you can see on top of the trunk lid, there actually was a fair amount of clear coat fade right in this area. You can still see a little outline of it. Like I said, I need to actually get a decent buffer and properly buff this car. I may even get someone at work to help me do it in the end. But for what I did yesterday, I think it turned out pretty well. But there was a fair amount of clear coat fade right there. Got rid of most of it. Inside of the trunk, which of course is locked at the moment. But this is probably one of my favorite parts of the vehicle, right here. Stick the key in, unlock it, and inside you can see this car has a massive trunk. Love just these hinge designs. Everything is very and just over-engineered. Holds itself up perfectly, of course, but you have a massive amount of space. You can see I do just have my cheap Harbor Freight toolkit thrown in here because why not, and some other cleaning supplies. Underneath of that is a storage compartment right there. And then over here, this one does include the spare tire underneath of the cover. This tire's actually been replaced. It's dry rotted again, but it was replaced in like 2004. And then down there, this one does include all of the tools and everything else. These tools actually inside of this little wallet, they had never even been taken out when I first opened it. Close that. We'll go ahead and cut it back on. I know this is a real sloppy introduction to the car, but on this side, once again, everything follows through in the back seat. I love the vinyl backs of the front seats right there. This one does just have some of my stuff thrown in it. Magazine from Cars and Coffee this morning. And I did end up buying on Amazon a Bentley manual. Oddly enough, I paid for the softcover one and they sent me a hardcover, but service manual for this vehicle cannot beat these Bentley manuals. Passenger side, I've already ridden in the passenger side a few times. My friends have actually been begging me to drive this car, surprisingly. But the passenger seat in this vehicle, just as comfortable as the driver. And it really just feels like a great place to be on a road trip. Glove box right here. And I love how it's old car fashion, flips down like I showed. Mirror. You have your manual mirror controls on the passenger side, and everything on the door down below carries over, soft touch. You have some storage down here. Now, one thing, which I forgot about this from 90s cars, no cup holders. So you at least have a bottle holder down in the door, which will fit like a water bottle or a Pepsi. And then for anything bigger, what I usually do is put it in between the parking brake and the seat. It works fine. But over here, just have a detailing rag and some other stuff. Same storage compartment on this side, not broken off. Same goes for the speaker grill as well. Another thing I did forget to show on this vehicle, it is riding on Hankook Optimo tires. I actually came back here because this is the worst hubcap. You can see at some point Granny ate a curb, but I'll replace that. I'm probably going to try to find one at the junkyard, and if not, I'll just order a new set online. But it does have hubcaps, and it is riding on Hankook Optimo tires. They're pretty much almost done. Thankfully, like I've said before, I'm not daily driving this vehicle, and winter is pretty much over where I live, so it's not like it's going to be seeing any snow or anything. That'll definitely get fixed, though. I may get wheels, or I may end up getting a new set of hubcaps. I also don't mind the way the Steelies look on this car. I took the hubcaps off to clean it yesterday. So I may end up just painting the Steelies and running them, but new tires soon, probably after I do the timing belt. Tires for this car, since they're 14 inches too, were not expensive. I think I found like Kumos and Falcons for like under 60 bucks. Under the hood, which I love, no prop rod, just holds itself up. But under the hood, this one does have Volvo's B230F engine. This is the 2.3 liter four-cylinder. It does have a Bosch ignition system, as well as a Bosch injection system. But you can see up underneath of here, timing belt was changed in 2011, so I'm probably going to go ahead and get that done soon at 10,000 miles. So this car's barely had about 25,000 miles put on it in the last 6 years. But timing belt's very easy. It's right on the front. If I don't end up doing it myself, it's only like $200 or $300 for a shop to do it. But everything under here is traded in. The washer fluid jug was completely full, which anyone who works around used cars knows they always come in empty. Down below as well, you have your coolant reservoir right here. Coolant's nice and clean. Everything follows through over here. And one of my favorite parts, one of the things that just made me not able to let this car go, is when you look, all of the parts underneath the hood are Volvo OEM, or the OEM Bosch parts like they should be. I mean, even down to the plug wires, which I'm actually about to replace, Volvo. And the oil filter all the way down there is a Volvo one. So everything under the hood of this vehicle has been well kept, it's been well maintained. It's dusty, but this is how clean the car came in when it was traded. Power steering works. Like I said, the air conditioning works perfect. The cap actually doesn't look that bad, but like I said, I've already ordered a Bosch cap and rotor and NGK plug wires. Just all the basic buying a used car stuff. And over here, you even have your dipstick, which looks brand new, and then the transmission fluid dipstick is down below. So, like I said, it's nowhere near perfect. It's definitely a work in progress, but for the almost a week now that I have had this car, I absolutely love it. It is so much fun to drive. It's done everything I've wanted it to do so far. And I've actually already done a couple of pretty long drives in it, and it's perfect. This is a very, very surprisingly comfortable car on the highway, which people would not believe that, but I wasn't expecting it. It's very nice to drive on the highway. I'll probably end up driving this to school a lot more than I expected. Anyways, guys, like I said, my new toy, I hope you enjoyed. Any questions, comments, anything like that, drop them down below. and there will be plenty more videos of this car. So I'd love to get some videos out because there really aren't a lot of 240s on YouTube, and any money I can make off of YouTube making videos of this car are going to go right back into it. So, as always guys, thanks for watching and subscribe for more.